Sawadika.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Yes, thank you so much for being with us. I love your comment about Thai cuisine and the opportunities in Thai cuisine to really embrace and showcase and promote vegetables. Can you talk a little more about that?
Yeah, well, I think we're really lucky in Southeast Asia, especially in Thailand, that the weather here is so great that we can grow so many different varieties of vegetables, and there's so many different, like the biodiversity is so strong here that you can really find lots of different vegetables of the same variety. So whether it's aubergines, you have like 10, 15 varieties, chilies come in like so many different sizes, shapes and colors, and then all the different gourds, and you're just so lucky here that we have so much access to those vegetables. And I think it's really important to continue to support that and also to explore that.
And if you look into like the old cookbook that we always use, it's really plant forwards anyways. Like protein is like, it's just like one part of the dish. It's not the most important part. And if you look at the old photos, it's always showcased like the veg and proteins equally. It's never show like the showy of like the proteins that we have in more modern cuisine that we see now.
Yeah, I'm glad you said modern, not Western.
Modern. So it's not like a big piece of meat protein. It's more vegetables, curries, and all of that.
Yeah, and I think proteins are used a lot more inclusively in the dish. So you have things like shrimp paste and fish sauce that are protein based or animal based, but they're used to bind the dish or to season the dish more than they are to showcase that product.
Fresh peanut like this we use a lot in as a snack and also in the desserts as well. But the dry toasted peanuts we use it everywhere, like from the dressings, the sauce,
Curry paste,
even in the dessert as well.
and even in a relish. We have a relish with a peanut based relish. So it's very versatile and very applicable in Thai cuisine. It's part of the cuisine. I think it will be for a long time.
You've been doing this for quite some time, always known for your beautiful vegetable cooking and your approach to sustainability, natural ingredients, and all that. Can you share with us your vision for what is the next step in that path?
For us, I think the next step is just to try and continue what we're doing, keep expanding our network of regenerative farmers and artisanal producers, to try and really educate our clientele and have them understand the value and importance that we give to the produce that we're serving.
We want to share this philosophy and visions and the practice to a general public rather than our clientele only. That's how we set up the program called Bo.lan educational programs and try to do cooking class. We try to incorporate all these philosophies like try this is a lot better because it's come from the regenerative farms rather than or taste this fish because it's wild caught and it's not farms like or whatever. And we try to incorporate all this into the talk and the class when we do and hope that they get it and actually can apply to their everyday life, basically. Actually,
by eating in this way, you're actually doing a service to yourself because it's much more nutritional for you to eat something that's grown in that manner, but it's also better for the environment and the world that we live in to make sure that if it's grown regeneratively, then that means that soil is being taken care of and it's able to give us more nutritious food the next time around. And I think what people should be really considering instead of how tasty their food is, which is super important, but it's like where their food's coming from and what is it giving to them and what are they putting in their body.
And I keep telling them that like if you still want to continue eating good food or yummy food, you really need to take care of the environment. Otherwise, where good food gonna come from?
Yeah, I think as well with Thai cuisine, traditionally there's this huge culture of food in families and in homes. So traditionally there's been some really great home Thai cooks, and a lot of people have gotten used to this idea that the best Thai food is found in homes. I would say that's not so much the case these days because of the way agricultural practices have changed, but I also feel like as a restaurateur we have a responsibility to value those dishes and champion those dishes as well. We don't need to be adding things to them to make it more fashionable. I think if we just focus on the produce itself and let the produce speak and tell the story behind the produce as well, like where does this vegetable come from, who's growing it, how are they growing it, where is this product made and how is it made, and then people start to put value to that, because traditional food's hard. It's really hard to make, and it tastes so much better, I believe, than this industrialized version of whatever they're trying to replicate. And I think this is a really important aspect, that restaurants need to sometimes step away from this industrialization of the food system and go back to actual product and then focus on the product.
And the chef like really, it's really easy to value add it to the dish with like animal-based proteins or something that people around the world has been valued, like caviars and, you know, a little bit like, I really can't take it anymore. Like, you want to do modern Thai food, you do whatever and then slap the caviar on the tops, and like we need to like really step away from that, look back to the natures and look back to, it's actually go back to educating the clientele as well, because a lot of greens also have a lot of protein as well.
And it's also more interesting and fun, because you look at this plate, for example. There's 10, 15 different varieties of vegetables and fruits on there, all have different flavors, different textures, and they all interact differently with this relish, for example. And I think that's something that people forget, because they're getting dishes now that have been deconstructed or oversimplified, and so it doesn't even resemble a relish anymore. It doesn't resemble a curry anymore. It's just a couple of flavors that are pulled out and then put on some protein. Whereas a real curry or a real relish is really plant forward, it's really tasty, and it also offers an experience for the eater.
Well, thank you so much. ขอบคุณมาก
ขอบคุณครับ
ขอบคุณค่ะ